Hiyo, welcome back. On today's same but different episode, we'll be making a very simple Chinese bacon stir-fry cabbage dish using two different cookware. A Chinese traditional light carbon steel wok and a ceramic non-stick coating wok. Don't worry if you don't have the exact same cookware because this method will apply to 95% of the cookware that we use at home. So without further ado, let's go straight into content, shall we? Hi there, if it's your first time here, welcome. My name is Erica. I'm a Taiwanese citizen currently living in America. Cooking and traveling are my passion, so I'm here to share with you my favorite Asian recipes. I make kitchen trivia show and Asian home cooking recipe on this channel, so if that interests you, please subscribe and keep watching. Stir-fried cabbage is one of the most common home-cooked vegetable dish in Taiwan. And it is also one of the two vegetables that are always served in the Taiwanese hibachi. Throwing broccoli in your mouth is such a fun game for child, but this really is just not a thing that we do back home. The sweet and savory taste paired with the crunchy texture of the stir-fried cabbage is really addictive. However, many people struggle to replicate this dish at home. The common issue is not the flavoring, but how to keep the crunchy texture of the cabbage while also evenly cook it through. And today, I'm going to teach you how to do just that. And consider that most Western household does not own a iron wok at home. So today I'm also going to share with you how to use a non-stick coating pan, no matter if it's Teflon pan, ceramic coating, or they say the diamond pan or whatever that is. As long as it's a coating, you can apply for the second method that we'll show you today. But first, let's look at our ingredients. Here are the ingredients that we'll need for today's stir-fried cabbage. The only one different ingredients here for the two methods is the cooking wine. Besides that, the seasoning are all the same. For the bacon, you can decide how much you want to add. I'll be making one with half a slice of bacon just for umami and one with 2 slices of bacon for the meat lovers. Obviously, you can add in more if you want to. Now, when it comes to cutting cabbage, there's really no right or wrong way to do it, but there's definitely some tricks that you can use to create a more evenly cut. And here's how I do it. I like to slice it like a watermelon first with a 2-inch width. Pick out the center piece as it is too small to further chop them, then cut the rest of the outer layer into an even desired size. After washing the cabbage, spin out the majority of the water and set it aside. If you're making the meaty version, you can slice the bacon wider, but if you're only using half a slice, cut it smaller for a better presentation. Finally, chop the garlic and chili. If you don't like spicy food, you can skip the chili entirely or remove the white pit and seed to reduce the spiciness. Now, all the ingredients are ready, let's start cooking. First, let's start with the traditional method, cooking in an iron wok. My iron wok right here is specifically a light carbon steel wok, but this will apply to traditional wok, also the stainless steel pan, as well as I'll say cast iron is works the same. As long as your cookware does not have a restriction of how high of a heat you can use, or there's no rules of dry heating, you can apply this method to your cooking. The reason why we want our cookware to be able to hold all these heat is because we want to create a steaming environment for our cabbage to be able to cook it evenly. So if your cookware cannot hold high temperature, adding in cold water or cooking wine, the temperature would drop super fast and the low temperature won't be able to cook through the cabbage and it will take longer, result in the soggy cabbage. Now we know the reason why we like to use iron wok to stir fry. Let's get straight into the process. Heat up your wok until it starts smoking and throw in your cabbage. Keep the heat in medium to prevent burning. Constantly stir it until it starts shrinking like this. Next, we'll add in some oil if there's not enough. The shine on the vegetable is provided by the oil, and also oil is a great media to carry any aromas, so it will carry the bacon flavor throughout the whole dish for you even when you're not chewing on the bacon at the moment. Next, in goes the garlic and chili. Mix it for 3 to 5 seconds, not longer, or else you're gonna get burned, and turn the heat to high and add in your cabbage. Right away, pour in 2 tablespoons of cooking wine from the side of the wok and cover it up for 2 minutes. If you don't have cooking rice wine, you can use any other broth or water to replace it as well. The reason why we want to create a steaming environment is because cabbage are pretty hard and has a very uneven surface. Pure stir frying your cabbage might result in uneven cook and perhaps burned cabbage. So 2 tablespoons amount of cooking wine is perfect because it will create a steaming environment very fast, and also there won't be too much liquid left in the pan at the end. We're not making no soup right here. I like to open once in between to stir it a little bit. This is to rotate the cabbage to make it steam evenly. Now, 2 minutes have passed. Open up the lid and give it a little stir again. Season with some simple salt and pepper. Mix, 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 and done. Looking good. And it's so simple. You can see through the screen how it still remains crunch but not soft and mushy. The tiny amount of bacon can give the dish a great aroma and flavor. You really don't need much. Now we know how cabbage are cooked in a restaurant and traditionally in a Chinese household. But the true question is, how do we achieve this texture using a non-stick coating pan? Because this is what we have in most of the household nowadays in 21st century, right? Before we learn how to do it, let's learn why is non-stick coating an issue. Like I mentioned earlier, to create a steam, you have to have your wok to be very, very hot in the beginning. But since a non-stick coating pan don't allow you to use a high temperature or even dry heat your wok, you can't create that environment in just a second. So how do we fix this? The way is super simple but a little counterintuitive, which we're gonna blanch our vegetable first before we stir fry it. But wait, Erica, didn't you say that we don't want to do that and we'll make it mushy? Yes, long-term cooking your cabbage will definitely make it mushy. But what we're trying to do here is a very fast speed cook. Specifically 20 seconds only. And here's how. Prepare a lot of water into a pot and add in some oil and salt to speed up the process. Always blanch them in batches to remain the high water temperature if you're cooking a big portion. And scoop it out right away after the time is up. Trust me, 20 seconds is totally enough because the remaining heat will further cook them and we'll also have to stir fry it later. When that's done, set it aside. Now with your non-stick pan, put in all your bacon and evenly lay on the bottom of the wok. Turn the heat to medium and let it cook. If you're only using half a slice of bacon, then you gotta add in some oil before you heat up your wok. Because remember, no dry heating. We want to make sure all bacon is cooked through now because the rest of the step takes no time. When the bacon is done, add in garlic and chili and stir fry till aromatic like how you do it earlier. Non-stick pan normally takes around 10 to 20 seconds instead of 5 because of the temperature. And depending on how fatty your bacon is, you might also need to add in more oil. Then add in your cabbage to mix well with the rest of the ingredients. Sprinkle some salt and pepper, mix, 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 and done! The meaty version of bacon stir-fried cabbage cooked by a non-stick coating wok is ready. Look at this. Besides the size of a bacon, can you even tell the different cooking method just by looking at it? I bet not, because they have an almost identical texture. Now here's my little advice and conclusion. If you have an iron cookware, I would recommend you to always use that to cook your cabbage. Not only is there only one pan to wash, but also fewer steps to follow and more nutrition left in our food. Blanching vegetable can maintain their texture, but it can also cause a lot of water-soluble nutrient to leak into the water. The longer you cook, the more nutrition you lost. So that's one of the main reasons why we want to add in salt to blanch any vegetable to speed up the process so we have less nutrition loose into the water. So when should we use a non-stick coating to make stir-fried cabbage? I'll say only when you don't have an iron wok. And that's it for today. Before you go, as usual, let's learn how to say stir-fried cabbage in Mandarin Chinese. 炒高丽菜 Stir-fried cabbage. 炒高丽菜 Thank you for cooking with me to the end. Let me know if these information are useful for you by giving this video a thumbs up. It's only gonna take you a second, but it's gonna help my channel a lot. I make video on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday, so remember to hit that bell and you'll never miss out. Last but not least, don't forget to subscribe on my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!